Well, I'm glad you're here watching my video on YouTube. The fact is, I don't know how long this will be up, since YouTube has decided to start censoring me and pulling down my videos. But don't worry, you can watch this video on rumble.com/RandPaul, where I post all of my content. Love to see you over at rumble.com.
Here with reaction to all of this, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. You know, Senator, it's become follow the science only when convenient. Because if we're following the science out of Israel, and I believe Qatar now is the second country, but the Israel case showing natural immunity was 27 times more effective in warding off the Delta variant than the vaccine, that would be following the science, wouldn't it?
Virtually none of the edicts or the promulgations that come from Fauci's mouth are based in science at all. Take the idea that we're now going to test the day of travel. The rapid test is accurate about between 30 and 50% if you don't have symptoms. So most people traveling, if they know they're sick, are going to not travel. So most of the people we're talking about are traveling are without symptoms. The test is 30 to 50% accurate. The Omicron variant is already across the United States and across the world. No travel ban is going to stop it, and no amount of testing is going to stop it. But think about this. Fauci now says if you know someone's been vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask next to him. So you see him at one of these glittering Hollywood parties the other day, and it's like, oh, if I don't know the person, I put a mask on if I know them. Well, he doesn't know their vaccine status. How idiotic is that? Oh, I don't know that person, so I'm going to put my mask on. But now I'm going to take it off because I know that person. He doesn't know who's vaccinated or not by looking at them. It's a ridiculous standard. But here's the bottom line. People who've been vaccinated or people who've gotten the disease naturally do have a semblance of protection and should feel comfortable going about their daily lives. Let's not live in fear because Dr. Fauci is promulgating things that are unscientific just to scare you. If you've been vaccinated or if you've had the disease, live your life and ignore this man, and let's hope he can be gone as soon as possible.
You know, you've been the first to point out, and now others have joined in loudly, and I applaud them, like Ted Cruz. He's been great. That when he testified, I believe it was May 11th, and said that the NIH never funded any gain-of-function research. I think it might have been an exchange with you. Now we know from the NIH itself, and we know from the 900 documents from The Intercept, and we know from Fauci's own emails that, in fact, he knew damn well that coronavirus gain-of-function research was being done at the Wuhan virology lab and that his NIH was funding it.
And realize to this day he hasn't taken any of it back and he hasn't learned any lessons. To this day, he still supports sending money to China. He still supports the research in Wuhan, and he still supports gain-of-function research throughout the United States. There is the possibility that a virus could escape a lab that has 50% mortality. He has been in favor of allowing experiments with viruses that have 50% mortality. The current virus is wreaking havoc and it has 1% mortality. Can you imagine if a virus escapes from a lab? So he's learned absolutely nothing, but he's a danger to mankind because he doesn't want to place any new limits on this gain-of-function research. He continues to deny that it happened. When we caught him lying, he went to his website and changed the definition of gain-of-function. They took the words gain-of-function off of his website, off of the NIH website, because he's still trying to obscure any responsibility for his funding of this type of research. But the funding goes on. This could happen again. The man's a menace, and we need to get him away from the reins of power.
A guy that said in 2012, even if it resulted in a worldwide pandemic, he still supports gain-of-function research. That, to me, is like a mad scientist.
That kind of situational ethics absolutely should get him away. I mean, think about the 5 million families who have lost loved ones. He's saying, oh, well, the research was worth it. Sorry, sorry for your loss of your loved one, but the research was worth it. What a callous disregard for individuals, individual liberty, and the individual deaths of 5 million people just to say, oh, well, the research was worth it. No, we should have a heart-to-heart discussion, Republicans, Democrats, all of us, with the scientists, and we should ask the question, should this type of research be funded in China? And should this type of research should be funded in the United States or Europe or anywhere? There are scientists who will come in who are not Republicans, scientists who are nonpartisans, who've been worried about Dr. Fauci and his support of this research for 15 years. Way before this pandemic, the debate was out there, but Dr. Fauci's winning because he controls the purse strings. He controls the money, and if you don't listen to him, he may yank your money. He may yank your funds.
Senator, you've done a great job exposing this and standing up for real science and the American people and freedom and medical privacy and doctor-patient confidentiality, which nobody seems to care about much these days. Thank you for doing it. We appreciate you being with us.